Welcome back. And our next guest is the founder of the social movement, Yo Digo No Más, María Trusa. Welcome to Qué Pasa.
Carlos, thank you for having me here. It's an honor to be with you.
Thank you. Tell me a little bit about your immigration story from the Dominican Republic.
So I had an interesting, well, there's many interesting immigration story. I believe each one of them is. I was 15 years old when I came to the United States and could not speak English at all. That was the biggest challenge. You know, you leave the DR. I love the Dominican Republic, even though the first decades of my life in the Dominican Republic was quite challenging and very traumatic. But coming to the United States, I did have this feeling that I was going to do something big. I remember when the doors of JFK opened up, it was the first time that I saw doors that actually opened without you having to open it. And I felt that I came to the land of opportunities and not really realizing what I was going to end up doing, but definitely extremely excited to be in the United States with my family. My mom was here. You know, she started moving mountains and she taught us how to move mountains. And the first mountain that she moved was to leave her children and be able to come to the United States to try to bring us all. And it was a process that took time, and it was a painful process. But we were able to unite here eventually and create a beautiful life.
And tell me, you worked many years at the Scarsdale Medical Group. Tell me about that experience and what brought you into the medical field.
I always wanted to be a doctor. It's in my family, there's many doctors, so that was my childhood dream. But I got married when I was 17. I got married to a Dominican man, machista. But I'm not saying that all Dominican or Spanish men are machistas, because that's not true, but I just happened to marry one. And I had a child at the age of 20, and I realized that dream of going to medical school was not going to happen. So I became a medical assistant. And as a medical assistant, I took an opportunity at Scarsdale Medical Group. So I'm dealing with a wealthy community, and I created a career at Scarsdale Medical Group as a medical assistant. I went to medical assistant school, then became a medical assistant, and believe it or not, 4 years later, I was the executive director, and I had a career of 26 years at Scarsdale Medical Group.
Amazing. And fast forward to today, you're the CEO of Forme Medical Group?
CEO of Forme Medical Center and Urgent Care. And I decided after 26 years of having an amazing job that I was going to focus on bringing healthcare to the uninsured community, especially the immigrant community. Unfortunately, in the United States, our immigrant community, if you're not legal, you're not going to get health insurance, even if you can afford it. So my main focus was, how do I bring dignified care and culturally sensitive medical care to this community? So bilingual, everybody speaks Spanish. Currently, I have over 30,000 patients.
Wow.
It's a medical center. We have internal medicine, gynecology, podiatry, neurology, and we also have it in urgent care. And I can tell you, during the pandemic, we ended up doing over 100,000 COVID testing. And I feel extremely blessed that I had that opportunity to show up for our Latino community during tough times.
Tell me about your movement, Yo Digo No Más. I say no more?
I say no more.
No more.
Yo Digo No Más is, I would say, my legacy. It is a movement that brings awareness to what I call the silent pandemic of sexual abuse of our children. This is, sexual abuse of the children is something that has been normalized. And I realized, as a survivor myself, when I mentioned to you, I had a traumatic childhood. When at the age of 9, my father, who is supposed to be my protector, decided to give me to his friend. He destroyed my body, destroyed my soul, took away my innocence, And that led into decades and decades of destruction. But I had a child at the age of 20, as I mentioned, and that child became my accelerator to realize that I was so broken, and that I needed to stop this generational trauma that is passed along to our families, and that I was going to stop it. And I started this journey of healing and becoming very aware of what I was feeling and finding ways of dealing with it. I was very poor. But it is the ability of someone like me that was destroyed, that was a victim, and I became a survivor. Not only a survivor, but I became a creator. So the movement came out of my book, Yo Digo No Más, I Say No More. It is in Spanish and English, and it's also in Audible. And I decided to break the silence of my sexual abuse experience. And my son was the one of my sons asked me, Mom, please tell your story, because there is women and men that needs to hear it and understand that you don't have to be stuck in victim mode. And the movement now is a movement that is bringing awareness. We have a talk show, over 300,000 views in YouTube. But the biggest thing that we're doing is we are bringing a curriculum to the school district that is going to be teaching children how to protect themselves from sexual abuse, because over 93% of the abuse happens at home. Carlos, there are every 9 minutes a child is sexually abused in the United States. Only 30% get reported. That's why I call it the silent pandemic of sexual abuse. We are also bringing a series of books. We're going to teach parents how to talk to their children about sex, about their parts. And education is going to bring prevention. And we're bringing healing through people telling their story, breaking the silence. This is not María Trusa's movement. This is your movement. This is our movement. The silent pandemic needs to stop. We need to stop from letting people abuse the children and taking their innocence, that God-given gift to them, because life becomes 10 times harder when your innocence gets stolen. And we need to unite. We need funding for the movement, so I urge you to please go to yodigonomas.com and join us on this effort by donating a dollar. It doesn't matter, whatever you can do. You want to participate? Let's join together. I know together we could break the chains of sexual abuse that are destroying our families, Carlos.
I understand you wear a lot of different hats. You're not busy enough, but also as part of your health plan, of your health, mind, and body, you do triathlons. So
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
So I started taking on, I love taking care of my body. My body is my temple. Physical challenges that you put on yourself leads you into being able to create the life that you want. It affects different pillars of your life. I look at my life as pillars that I am creating harmony. And if I can excel my body, then I'm excelling my mind, and it falls into the other pillars of my life. So,
That's
limit
amazing.
crusher.
Limit crusher. Well, thanks for joining us. You're an inspiration, and keep on crushing those limits, Maria.
Carlo, thank you so much. It's truly an honor.